dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. A sigh of relief. Today, roughly 60 hours of searching led rescuers to 22-month-old Kenneth Howard. Around 2 this afternoon, they made the discovery on top of a ridgeline, and miraculously, the toddler seemed to be in really good health. To break down this incredible story, we're joined by WYMT's Justin Case. He's live in Magoffin County. Justin.
So, Steve, I'm actually technically in Floyd County, right next to the Floyd-Magoffin County line. So this area where I'm at right here, this is actually where the mobile command center was set up. A lot of search parties started from this location. You can see all of them have left at this point, but they started here. Now, this is also the entrance to an old abandoned strip mine, and actually further up this way is one of the roads that takes you up close to where the child was found, and also where there was an open field where the helicopter had to land so they could actually load the boy onto the helicopter and take him out of here. But, you know, the mood has totally changed here, Steve. Let me tell you this. I was told last night that on day 3 of the search crews were considering only using cadaver dogs, or mostly using cadaver dogs today, because the optimism was certainly running out. But close to 67 hours after the boy was reported missing, he was found today. Now, I'm told he was actually found in a densely wooded area, actually up on a cliff that's about 50 feet up in the air. Now, check this out. This is exclusive video that was shot by one of the volunteers out here helping search for the boy. Crews had to bring him to an open area where the medical helicopter, like I said, could actually land and then get him on the helicopter. I'm told that search crews actually searched very close to where the boy was found over the course of the several days he was missing. It's really not known at this time if the boy moved, and that's why search teams didn't find him sooner. We also don't know the boy's condition at this time, but of course he looks like he's actually doing pretty well. One official that I talked with says just seeing all the volunteers out here over the last several days was incredible motivation to continue searching for Kenneth and to find him alive.
I was froze to death and wet, and every time I think I was cold, I'd think about that baby, and then I'd about start crying, and I don't know, I just didn't want to give up on him.
Steve, now we did talk with Kentucky State Police a short time ago. They say this investigation will continue. They want to really figure out how this toddler ended up on a cliff less than a half mile from his home in a densely wooded area. And it's also not clear at this time if the boy is able to communicate. They're going to let him get his treatment, let him get better. And then once that happens, they're going to talk with him and see if he is able to communicate, just to see how this all happened. But coming up at 6, we're going to have much more reaction from the scene, from volunteers. So I hope you'll join us again coming up on Mountain News at 6. We'll send it back to you. Steve?
An incredible story just all the way around. Justin, thank you very much. The clock is ticking on a reward that a family hopes leads to answers in a missing woman case. In January, the Richmond mother went missing. Police say Savannah Spurlock went to a bar but never made it home. Since then, there have been few leads. Tonight at midnight, a $10,000 reward will no longer be available in the case.
Yes, I thought for sure this reward really would get somebody to come forward with information to find Savannah.
Family members say they are not sure on what direction they will take if no one comes forward by midnight. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services posted on its website a public notice that Medicare will no longer pay for services at the Southeastern Kentucky Medical Center in Pineville after today. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds has the latest.
When we had the meetings, I thought, well, everything's looking better, but this news is kind of put a damper on it, sounds like.
The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid posted on its website that the Southeastern Kentucky Medical Center no longer meets several different requirements. That meant Medicare would no longer pay for services at the hospital.
I'm thinking with everything else that's been going on with the hospital, if Medicare cuts their financial services out for the hospital, that it will make the situation worse than it already is.
But as of 4 o'clock Wednesday, Mayor Scott Maiden says the Medicare revocation of the hospital's license is temporarily suspended.
One of the main reasons that they're granting that is due to the potential sale contract between the city of Pineville and the current owners.
Maiden says if they can get an agreement that both parties can agree to, they can continue moving forward in a positive direction, keeping the talk of closure off the table.
This is the largest employer in our community, and not only that, but we need a hospital, and we're going to do everything we can in our power to make sure that it stays open.
Continuing the fight to keep their hospital open. In Bell County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Mayor Scott Maiden says they are not sure how long CMS will suspend the revocation of the hospital's license.
And we saw sunshine once again today with those drier conditions, at least for most. You'll notice as we take a look at a few of those cameras across our area over to Interstate 75 in London. Seeing those partly cloudy skies, dry conditions over there, and looking over into Stonecrest, Prestonsburg, you're seeing those partly to mostly cloudy skies at times, but that sunshine definitely kept us a little bit warmer today. You'll notice those clouds increasing due to a really weak system that moved down to our south and leaving us with just a stray chance. You can see that moved through Leslie County earlier, parts of Harlan County, so maybe just a stray shower or two, but overall most of us are remaining dry. Those temperatures still into those mid to upper 60s, some spots getting into the 70s, so it's felt great today. We'll see those temperatures increase as we head into the next few days as well. Have that and more coming up in just a few short minutes. Steve.
All right, thank you, Paige. The country salutes an Eastern Kentucky officer murdered in the line of duty. As a Washington correspondent Kyle Madura reports, those who knew him best say it is a fitting tribute.
He'll never be forgotten.
The legacy of slain officer Scotty Hamilton is now etched into the stone of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial.
It's hard to see what he owned there.
Pikeville Police Chief Chris Edmonds says it's powerful to see Hamilton's name amongst the 21,000 honored here.
It just brings back all the memories. But, it's a wonderful thing to see the honor that's been given to him.
Hamilton's name is one of 638 from Kentucky on these walls. Lives cut short by health problems, crashes, and violent attacks dating back to 1845. Hamilton lost his life in March of last year. The man who murdered him is set to spend the rest of his life behind bars.
Scotty Hamilton.
Wednesday, President Donald Trump addressed the colleagues, friends, and family of the 158 fallen officers recognized this year. He told them the country is behind them and praying for them.
Your loved ones were extraordinary and selfless Americans who gave everything they had in defense of our communities, our children, and our nation.
We asked the chief what his former officer would have thought of all this.
For him to be able just to see all this right here at one time just would have been amazing to him, and I'd love for him just to be able to see it.
In Washington, I'm Kyle Madura.
Hamilton will also be among 6 Kentucky officers who lost their lives in the line of duty in 2018, honored next Thursday at the Kentucky Law Enforcement Memorial Foundation ceremony in Richmond. A former Western Kentucky bus driver is accused of offering a teenager money to expose herself. Barron County deputies arrested 34-year-old Randall Hastett yesterday. They say they received a report that he offered the girl $20 to show her breasts. Deputies say it reportedly happened twice. Barron County Superintendent says Hastett is no longer employed with the district. He's being held without bond. A man is charged after a motorcycle chase in eastern Kentucky. Police in the Floyd County community of Martin say Joshua Carver did not have a license plate on a motorcycle he was riding, and they tried to stop him Monday night. He took off, and investigators say he led them on a high-speed chase. Police ended up catching him. Carver is facing several charges, including fleeing or evading, speeding, and resisting arrest. Maximum Security's owners have filed a federal lawsuit to overturn the Colts' disqualification in the Kentucky Derby. The suit calls the decision, quote, bizarre and unconstitutional. Maximum Security was the first horse to cross the finish line in the May 4th race, but he was disqualified. Track stewards ruled he interfered with other horses, but the 33-page lawsuit says the stewards did not consider the objection of the jockey on Country House, the ultimate winner of the Derby. The suit calls for a judge to reverse the decision and name Maximum Security the winner. One business owner in the city of Coal Run Village is always accepting tips, but not for himself. Mike Johnson, the owner of Johnson's Home and Garden, has been raising money for Pike County's homeless students for years. Since last week, he's raised nearly $1,500 to benefit more than 150 homeless teens in Pike County who will be walking across the graduation stage this year. The funds have been raised through a combination of in-person and Facebook donations. Once the online fundraiser closes, the funds will be transferred to Pike County's Title I homeless program. Johnson said he does not know which students the funds will benefit, but he knows it's one way to give the graduates a sense of normalcy.
These children don't have anything, they don't have anyone, usually, so this was a way for us to give back or let them know that people loved them.
To donate, you can go to the Johnson's Home and Garden Facebook page. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, bringing the reality of addiction to life. The Centers for Disease Control's Tips from Former Smokers campaign comes to Eastern Kentucky.
And we will continue to see those temperatures increase over the next few days. We'll also bring back a few scattered rain chances. Good news is that weekend forecast looking a lot better than the past few. I'll have a look at that weekend forecast coming up in just a few short minutes.